Good evening and welcome back to the Informant Market Desk, where we are once again gathered in the dark, watching the numbers dance while our president tweets at the sky. Tonight is August 13th, 2026, a day that proved with statistical precision that the market is an indifferent beast that cares nothing for your digital shouting. Let's start with the ritual because we must. I am holding the registry chain head, and for the record, I will read this seal aloud exactly as it appears, because if I don't, who knows what kind of hex-changed reality we'll wake up to tomorrow. The spoken form is 9149 Alpha Delta 96 Foxtrot 0 Delta Bravo. There, the date is established. The hostage situation is over for now, and what a day it was. We had 18 posts on Truth Social today. 18. That is a lot of words to say absolutely nothing, which the market appreciated deeply. Let's look at the actual financial reaction, because you might be surprised that the numbers didn't care about your feelings or your fury. DJT rose up 0.48%, landing in the 51st percentile, which is statistically perfect neutrality. It went up by 0.5% and nowhere else. ITA fell down 0.37% in the 70th percentile, meaning it lost a third of a point and hovered right where it always does. Ethereum rose up 0.37% in the 58th percentile, and then also fell down 0.32% in the 53rd percentile, proving that cryptocurrency is just a number generator with anxiety issues. Bitcoin rose up 0.29% in the 56th percentile. Bitcoin went up 0.3%. The market was asleep at the wheel and everyone else was driving. But let's talk about the bursts, because that's where the chaos lives. The first burst had one post over 0 minutes. Yes, 0 minutes, and DJT rose up 0.72% in the 63rd percentile. It went up less than 1% because of one tweet that lasted no time at all. Then the second burst hit, 5 posts over 1 minute, 5 tweets in 60 seconds. And what did DJT do? It edged down 0.17% in the 23rd percentile. It went down a tiny bit. The market looked at this fire hose of content and said, thanks, but no thanks. Then the third burst, 2 posts over 14 minutes. SMH fell down 0.78% in the 86th percentile. Semiconductor stocks dropped less than 1% because someone decided to post twice in a quarter hour. This is not a market reacting to news. This is a market taking a nap while you scream into a void. Our colleagues in the pundit booth, who are both wrong, had a field day. The left leaned in and said, "Oh, look at this desperate pivot to a big number standards," accusing the opposition of corruption while we ignore our own guy's chaos because it never does. And then doubled down. Oh, the sanctity of ethics. Because clearly, the man who built an empire on your fired is suddenly demanding purity from politicians with actual jobs. This is a 5-alarm fire, and the fire department is on his payroll. Meanwhile, the right screamed. White House's wife is clearly just another victim of the radical left's witch hunt, while our side sees through their pathetic excuses. You can feel the winning. You can taste it, before adding, White House's wife gets grants while he writes laws. That's not a conflict, that's a family business model. The swampers are sweating bullets over this one. It was delicious. It was also completely disconnected from the fact that DJT rose up 0.48% and nobody noticed. Speaking of noticing, let's check last week's poll of the week results, purely as entertainment, because asking the audience for a market forecast is like asking a pigeon to predict the stock exchange. It's cute, but useless. Last week we asked, when a post lands and the market does not move, what does that tell you? The results were staggering in their brevity. The market already knew, 1 vote. Nobody was listening, 0 votes. Too early to say. Wait for the close, 0 votes. Nothing. 1 post is 1 post, 0 votes. Total votes, 1. Yes, 1 person voted and they chose the only answer that makes sense. The rest of you were too busy arguing about Florida politicians who are all doing tremendous jobs in a state that won big, in 2016, 2020, and 2024 to participate in audience engagement. This week's poll, when your president tweets 18 times and the market shrugs, what is the most likely explanation? Is it indifference, boredom, or a secret pact between Wall Street and the algorithm? Vote on the site. Options are indifference, boredom, secret pact. Don't tell me the numbers, tell me how you feel about them. I'm going to go lie down. Good night. Margot sees clutter. Her counterpart calls it surgical precision. Let's see if the crowd agrees with their polar opposite takes. I'm turning to the booth for the reality check on this narrative clash.
Margot Kessler here. He's throwing endorsements at the wall while his digital tantrum gets zero traction. It's hilarious watching him demand a market punishment that never arrives because he owns the narrative.
Margot thinks endorsements are wall-thrown clutter while I see a surgical strike on the primary electorate. The market's pathetic shrug just proves it's still asleep at the wheel of history.
Margot predicted zero traction, while the right pundit claimed a strike. The DJT actually rose up 0.48%, landing at the 51st percentile, a near median finish that disproves both absolute certainty.